Hello and welcome to a very wet Brazilian Grand Prix here in Interlagos, Brazil. Interlagos means between the lakes in Brazilian, and we are certainly seeing quite a lot of lakes around here, as rain has been pouring down all weekend, which would please some people, I assume. And we are going to be racing very soon, and we are racing now, in fact. And we already have a slow motion. There we are, and it's back to normal speed. Alonso leads currently from Salo. Salo going down the inside of Alonso. A slow motion replay. De La Rosa's being squeezed out a little bit by Fisichella and Barrichello, but they all survived the first corner. The CRS's Ralf Schumacher there behind De La Rosa, shown by arrows, and we have a replay here of Diniz. And there's Trulli behind. What's going to happen here? Is it Raikkonen? They had a little bit of contact there, but Diniz and Raikkonen. But Raikkonen had a very good start. He's managed to climb at least... Oh, Mark Webber as well. Very good start by Mark Webber as well. They must have climbed at least 5-6 positions. Now is Alonso leading for Toyota. Salo's in second place for the other Toyota, so Toyota 1-2 at the moment. We haven't had a 1-2 yet this season. I think the Jaguars had a 1-2 maybe. I don't remember. Panis third place, Michael Schumacher fourth place for the Ferrari. 26 laps in the Brazilian Grand Prix, because it's where it's going to last forever. Like a dry Brazilian Grand Prix, which would have lasted half the time. Fisichella is currently 6th place in the Renault, 7th place occupied by Pedro De La Rosa in the Jaguar, with 8th place being Ralf Schumacher in the Arrows. 9th place is Burti in the Jaguar, and 10th place is the other Arrows, who took a huge gamble this race and hasn't paid off. Raikkonen 11th in the Sauber. 12th place is a Lazy in the other Renault. Diniz 13th in the BAR. 14th is Trulli. The Jordan as they go around the first corner. It's a very tight first corner into a slightly tighter second corner, and it's flat out round turn 3 down the back straight. That was Button going a little bit wide. Coulthard in 17th place in the McLaren. Young in 18th. And that was Sato trying to have a look down the inside of Young. They're battling the two Minardis, but Sato cannot get past Young. At 20th place is currently Mika Hakkinen in the McLaren, and Sato's still trying to get past Young. Young has finally given up the place to Takuma Sato. On board now with the leader Fernando Alonso in the Toyota. Round the second to the last proper corner as they go up the main pit straight of this Interlagos circuit. It's a very short lap here, despite the fact it's wet. They're actually lapping quite quickly still, at a 1:17 pace. So Alonso that leads, Salo second, Panis third, Schumacher fourth, Barrichello fifth, Fisichella sixth, De La Rosa seventh, Schumacher eighth, Burti ninth, Frentzen 10th. Raikkonen a Lazy, Diniz, Trulli, Button, Webber, Coulthard between 11th and 17th. Sato, Young and Hakkinen on the last 3 drivers currently at the end of the second lap. There is Panis we're on board with. All them going down at the bottom of the track. And then into the very technical spot. Turn 6, 7, 8. There is Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari. Round the technical hairpins. There you go. There's the second one negotiated by Barrichello. Third one. It's a very light apex. And there he goes, negotiated. And then we're going back up to speed now. Down towards the last proper braking point of this circuit. De La Rosa looks like he is in 7th place. And you got the two. You got Ralf Schumacher. 8th place, 9th place is Burti, in 10th place Frentzen. So it's a Arrows Jaguar sandwich. They're fighting for the championship at the moment, remember, so not doing very good at the moment. But it's good news for Arrows since the Jaguars are back here as well. Down the second long, well, it's the longest straight on the circuit, but it's the second longest accelerating point. It's a very technical corner, this corner is. And then you carry a lot of speed going around this corner. And then it's uphill braking up round this half banked corner, which is also a very uphill corner, and down back towards the technical part of the track. The Trilly button in the Jordans. And there's Coulthard 16th place. He's got ahead of Webber. So despite the fact that Webber had a quick start, he's not lived up to the quick start that he had. He's in 17th place in the Sauber. Is Webber. Down towards the final braking point. Sato 18th. Pulled away significantly from Young. That's Mika Hakkinen. So Mika Hakkinen's got in ahead of Young. Young is by far the slowest driver on the circuit so far, and everyone has overtaken him now. He's down into 20th place in the Minardi, coming towards the first corner, starting lap 5 now. Young trying to outbrake Hakkinen, but that was a little bit of a pause there, wasn't it? Alonso currently leading for Toyota, is 7/10 clear of Salo currently. Down towards the third hairpin corner. And then we get picking up the speed again. Down towards the final braking point. You tell I don't know the name of these corners. I'm not going to guess either, because my Portuguese is not very good. Panis is currently in third place in the BAR. It's the highest place BAR have been all season. They have not scored a single point. But I've been so used to saying Panis in third, second and first place from last season, it's become natural to me to think that Panis should be up here. Fourth place is currently Michael Schumacher, with fifth place being occupied by the other Ferrari of Rubens Barrichello. Sixth place is in Fisichella's hands as they come out of the centre S's. There's Fisichella. They're all on lap 6 now. They've got 20 laps to go. Expect the pit window to open around lap 8 to lap 11 for the two stoppers. 13, 14, 15 for the one stoppers. But anything could happen, as we're on board with Michael Schumacher. Burti still in 9th place. Frentzen still in 10th. At the moment, not much overtaking is happening down this track. Frentzen 10th in the Arrows. They're all pulling away significantly from Raikkonen. It was Raikkonen in 11th place, but Alesi has just... Oh no, they're side by side in fact. Raikkonen pushes Alesi away. Down back into 12th place goes Alesi in the Renault. Raikkonen keeps hold of 11th place for now, but you'd think it's only a matter of time between Raikkonen and Alesi. There is Diniz in the BAR. Up the pitch straight he goes towards the start finish line to start lap 7. Button in the Jordan. Down towards the centre S's goes a Button. 14th place currently. 15th Trilly in the other Jordan. The shark finned Jordan of the front wing. David Coulthard is behind, following Trilly. 16th place is the McLaren. Webber is being dropped by these lots. By the rate of about a second a lap. Webber is 5 seconds behind these lots. But Webber's not being troubled, we don't think. As Coulthard, little look at Trullies. He's going to make use of that bitten hedges rear wing so far, this Coulthard person. There's Trulli still keeping hold of 15th place. Salo leads with Alonso in second. Panis currently in third place. Michael Schumacher 4th. Barrichello 5th place. Both Ferraris. 6th Fisichella. 7th De La Rosa. 8th Ralf Schumacher. 9th Burti. 10th Frentzen. We're on board with Webber in 17th place in the Sauber. Then there is Sato. 7 seconds behind Webber. So still losing time to Webber. And there is Hakkinen in 19th place. Young is still keeping an eye out of Hakkinen. Up the hill they go, up towards the first corner. And David Coulthard, little look down the inside of Trulli in the Jordan. They're on lap 8 now. So they've got 18 laps to go in this race. David Coulthard, little look down the inside of Trulli. Trulli slams the door shut. Coulthard has to stay behind him. Now, is Coulthard going to be able to do anything coming up to these corners? Not really. Coulthard keeps hold of 15th place. Trulli 14th, but we don't. But you. Oh, I was going to say you wouldn't think that Trulli would be able to hold on to it, but he's definitely not been able to hold on to it because his engine has gone in spectacular fashion, and that's a retirement from Trulli. It's the first retirement of the race. At least it happened there and not on the pitch straight, and that is Hakkinen being lapped by Salo. So Hakkinen must have pitted, and Salo is actually overtaken Alonso somewhere around the circuit. We missed that, and I have no idea where we missed it. But now Alonso is being held up by Hakkinen. Of course, because Hakkinen is that. Panis in third place has managed to dispatch of Hakkinen very easily. And now it's the rest of the drivers that have to dispatch of him. It's now 3 seconds the gap between Salo and Alonso. Salo has already won 2 races this season. He's on track now to win a third as he goes into the pit lane. Up the pit lane hill they go. And the pit limiter has been struck by Salo. 100 kilometers per hour. Going into his pit box. It's on lap 10. He is pitting. It's around about the time we thought he was going to pit. Down go the jacks. Away he goes. 7.6 second stop. And Barrichello has also entered the pits. It looks like Arrows, Minardi are both getting ready for their drivers at some point. It's a weird pit lane here. They follow the track in the inside and come out. Exit of turn 3. Salo has a nice bit of clear air there. He's found the gap between Frentzen and Schumacher and Raikkonen. So Frentzen must have pitted. So must have Burti. Because there's Ralf Schumacher, there's De La Rosa and Fisichella both being held up by Hakkinen, obviously. Because Hakkinen just holds everyone up and doesn't know the meaning of a blue flag. Fisichella, can he get down the inside of Hakkinen? Yes, he can. Can De La Rosa get down the inside of Hakkinen? No, he cannot. Fisichella is pulling away, and Ralf Schumacher could have a look around the inside or outside of De La Rosa, but De La Rosa still cannot overtake Hakkinen. This might lead to a poor exit. It's led to a poor exit. And Ralf Schumacher has now been held up by De La Rosa as he goes into the pits. Does De La Rosa. Down the pit lane he goes and he enters his pit box now. And they're changing all 4 Michelin tyres of the pit crew. Highly specially trained pit crew this. Could change all 4 tyres and fill up 30 litres in 7.6 seconds. You try doing that in real life with the real car. And round goes De La Rosa round this corner. He's going to easily get ahead of Burti. He's well behind Barrichello. And there is De La Rosa. He is in 9th place. Burti in 10th. Barrichello is now in 8th place with Raikkonen in front of him. The one stop in Sauber, of course. There is Ralf Schumacher There's Fisichella, both of them looking into the pit. Schumacher looks like he's going into the pits as well, avoiding Sato, Panis and Alonso to the top. The rest of the top 10 are all pitting at this lap. Lap 12 we're on, and the BAR of Panis changing all 4 tyres. Alonso is already away, we'd expect. Fisichella holds up Panis a little bit. Might give this. It's not going to give any advantages. No, Panis was well ahead of everyone else. But where's Alonso going to come out in spectrum to Salo? The answer is Salo is nowhere to be seen. There is Salo, and that looks like Panis has got it in front of Salo as well. So Salo has been jumped by both his teammate and Panis. Been held up somewhere, we presume. There is Salo, 3rd place. Schumacher behind in 4th place. But it looks like Salo... No, he's not going to dispatch with Panis that easily. Salo has to overtake Panis at some point. There's Schumacher in 4th place. Raikkonen directly behind Schumacher. There is Raikkonen in 5th place currently. He has yet to make a pit stop, of course. Barrichello's in 6th place, 5 seconds back from this lot. Oh, and would you look at that? I think we spotted why Salo came up behind Alonso. Yep, it's that man, Mika Hakkinen, holding everyone up again. 7th place currently in Fisichella. 8th place is Ralf Schumacher. 9th place Burti, behind Ralf Schumacher, and we presume that Frentzen is currently in 10th place in the other... Nope, it is De La Rosa in 10th place. Frentzen, of course, is going to be in 11th because, you know, in fact, Webber is in front of Frentzen at the moment because he has yet to make a pit stop as well. There is Frentzen following close behind Webber. The gap is 24 seconds between Frentzen, and that is Ralf Schumacher, the championship leader, trundling along in 1st gear. So Ralf Schumacher looks to be... Oh, what are you doing, Ralf? You're holding up Frentzen here. What are you doing? Schumacher is holding up Frentzen like a charm here. He's still not getting it. Come on, pass him. There we are. Frentzen passes Schumacher finally, but that's definitely not going to help the German in scoring a point. Ralf Schumacher is still trundling along. At least these corners are all 1st gear. 76. There's Frentzen. He's lost 5 seconds to Webber being stuck behind his teammate. Down towards the final corner. There is Ralf Schumacher still. Not going to be caught up by a lazy. There's a lazy. He's going around the 3rd hairpin. Diniz is also very close to a lazy. Diniz. There it is. Button. Coulthard 16th. Sato in 17th. There is Sato. Young is in 18th. All these will gain a position because of the retirement of Ralf Schumacher. First retirement of the season, Ralf Schumacher. Might lose the lead of the championship. I can't remember what the points were. There is Ralf Schumacher trundling down pit lane now, turning into his box to retire his car. There he is. Alonso leads for Toyota. He has quite a sizable lead by the looks of it over Panis. 5 seconds is the gap between the Toyota and the BAR. Sato behind everyone, obviously. Salo there just passing Young, and Michael Schumacher is now attempting to pass Young down the 1st corner, the center S's, and he has successfully passed Young. Barrichello is now Young's next target. There is Barrichello in 5th place in the Ferrari. Fisichella 6th in behind in the Renault. There is Fisichella. 7th is now Burti. 8th place would be the other Jaguar, you'd presume, because they were running very close with Burti and De La Rosa. And there is Burti, 7th, 8th place is De La Rosa, with 9th place being Weber at the moment, but he is ready to make a pit stop. He'll make a pit stop this lap. And round the 3rd corner, 4th. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. That was the first hairpin. The second hairpin here, 3rd hairpin coming up. Weber closely following De La Rosa, who's managed to catch up quite quickly to these lots. But Weber currently trundling along. The Sauber team are ready for him. He is going to make a pit stop in the Sauber. There we go. It's a beautiful camera shot of him trundling into the pit lane in the Sauber. Mark Webber, 9th place currently. You'd think he won't hold on to that place, because you'd think that there's Raikkonen, so Raikkonen might easily jump Frentzen, and away they go. 6.6 second stop from Sauber. That is a very, very quick pit stop. There goes a lazy, but is a lazy going to stay ahead of Weber, because Weber of course has the quicker line, and he's easily going to be ahead of Diniz, you'd think. Oh no! And in fact Button's going to overtake him as well. So Weber is behind Button and Diniz. And possibly Coulthard. No, Coulthard stays ahead. And that is Salo in trouble. Salo, the other main championship protagonist, trundling into the pits, and he looks to be stuck in gear as well. And there we are, into the pit garage he goes. De La Rosa in 7th place, being held up by Young. And there we are, down the inside of Young he goes. 6th place in the Jaguar. Currently Burti. He is well away from Fisichella in 5th place, but Fisichella is quite close to Barrichello, so we might see a few battles between the Ferrari and the Renault. Oh, I do apologise. Schumacher 3rd place in the Ferrari, 17th. 17th? We're on the 17th lap. They're about to go on to their 18th lap as Alonso leads in the Toyota. Panis 2nd place in the BAR. 3rd place will be Michael Schumacher in the Ferraris. Ferrari looking onto the podium at the moment. 4th place is Rubens Barrichello. 5th place is Fisichella. And 6th place will be Burti in the Jaguar. 7th place is De La Rosa in the other Jaguar. 8th place is Frentzen in the Arrows, who will now be looking into the points because of the retirements of Ralf Schumacher and Mika Salo. 9th place is Raikkonen in the Sauber. 10th place is Jean Lacey in the Renault. Currently held on to the last point. And then there was the rest of 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th. But you're not going to see the rest of them because Alonso is coming round the second to last corner. There's Barrichello being held up by Sato at the moment. Is Barrichello going to go down the inside of Sato? He does. And is he going to be ahead? Yes, he is. Quite an easy overtake for Barrichello there on Sato. Fisichella's going to have an even easier time of it because he could do it on the straight. There we go. Barrichello's actually gone into the pits. So That was a pointless overtake really on there. Sato, wasn't it? He just wanted to do it for the money or fame of passing a back marker. Into the pit box goes the Bridgestone shod Ferrari. Change of tyres onto a third set of wet tyres. Obviously because it's still raining. 7.6 second pit stop is the Ferrari team's pit. And away he is behind Frentzen at the moment. He's ahead of Young there. 7th place is the Ferrari, and there is Frentzen in the arrows going around the hairpins. Pedro De La Rosa in 5th place. Currently in the Jaguar, there's Fisichella 4th place. Can he get a gap enough to get ahead of the Ferrari before he makes his second and final pit stop? And there is Schumacher going round the third corner of the DRSs. And there's Panis in the BAR. He is chasing after Alonso, but he's 8 seconds back over Alonso. You'd think that Alonso easily has this win. Come to a bunch of back markers though is the BAR. Luckily it looks like the BAR are getting ready for a pit stop, but is it going to be for Diniz or is it going to be Panis? There is Alonso currently leading. 9 seconds is the gap between Alonso and Panis, and he is going round the final corner to start lap 21. Hopefully we don't see any more alien activity like we did last season when Fisichella mysteriously disappeared. Hopefully the rain puts off the aliens as Panis pits from 2nd place. Bridgestone's coming off the car. Bridgestone's going onto the car. Down go the jacks. Away goes the BAR. 6.7 second pit stop. There is Fisichella. Michael Schumacher's also pitted. We want to see the battle between Fisichella. We don't want to see Panis coming out of the pits. We want to see the battle between Fisichella and Barrichello. Who's going to get out in front? We know that Panis is going to come out in 3rd. There goes De La Rosa. So De La Rosa currently in 2nd place. We want to see the Fisichella battle. Camera director, please give us the Fisichella battle. Come on. Nope, that's De La Rosa. You've gone the wrong way. Fisichella is behind De La Rosa at the moment. You've gone the wrong way. Nope, you've gone even further. We're now on board with Alonso. I mean, he is about to make a pit stop, but we wanted to see the battle between Fisichella and Barrichello to see who got in front of who. But the camera director has not given us that battle. Instead, we are going to watch Alonso going into the pits. Coulthard coming out of the pits, but we're going to see Alonso, the race leader, into the pits. He's going to change his 4 Michelin tyres and put in the remaining fuel that he needs to finish this race. And Alonso 7.1. He should easily get out in front of everyone by quite a distance. Currently a 10-second gap between Alonso and De La Rosa, and De La Rosa has just entered the pit lane. So it's going to be Panis in the 2nd place again as Alonso comes out of the pit lane. We still want to see where Fisichella ended up. Did he end up in front of Barrichello or did he end up behind Barrichello? We don't know because we haven't seen any gaps, and the camera director is only bothered about watching Alonso. And now we've gone bold with Panis. We're going the right way this time. There is Michael Schumacher. There we are. Barrichello's in 4th place. He's managed to keep hold of his 4th place over Fisichella by 3 seconds. That was actually an anticlimactic affair, that was. Fisichella was nowhere near, and now De La Rosa in 6th place. And then, is he? Burti, no, it is De La Rosa in front of Burti, but Burti has a very good run. But no, Raikkonen 8th place. It's a quite good race for Salo, but they're going to score more points for the Sauber team. De La Rosa leaves the door wide open for Burti to stick his nose up, and Burti has closed the door on De La Rosa to both Jaguars. Oh no! And that's Burti spinning in the Jaguar. Now Burti's been overtaken by Raikkonen. That is definitely not going to go down well with the team. De La Rosa spinning Burti around, and that's going to cause quite a lot of controversy in the Jaguar garage. Burti is now behind Kimi Raikkonen in the Sauber, and there is Burti, probably not currently too pleased with what just happened. Frentzen 9th place, he's well ahead of Mark Webber. 15 seconds back is the Australian from the German, but he's holding on to the final point. Button in 11th place is in 11th place. Coulthard is 12th in the McLaren. 13th is Diniz in the BAR. There is a Lazy's lost quite a lot of time because he was in front all this pack and now he isn't. There is a Lazy going past Young, and all these are currently 48 seconds in front of Takuma Sato, and we just saw Young being lapped by them lot, but Young has more things to worry about. He's got the Toyota of Alonso about to lap him for the second time this race, and here we have current retirement: Salo in 18th, Ralf Schumacher in 19th, and Jarno Trulli is 20th. As we're on board with Alonso trying to get past Young, the Spaniard versus the Malaysian, and Alonso managed to get in front of him up to whatever turn that was. Panis second place in the BAR. Going to be points for the BAR team. They've not managed points at all this season. The only team yet to score points, and they're looking likely to score points. Michael Schumacher third place in the Ferrari, fourth place in the other Ferrari is Barrichello. He's well ahead of Fisichella in fifth place in the Renault. De La Rosa is in sixth place, but that is a very, very controversial sixth place, as you saw with him spinning Burti out. There is the unhappy Brazilian. Raikkonen 8th place. He's been caught by, and there's Burti. In fact, Raikkonen has been overtaken by Burti, and this is how Burti did it. And that is the way to do it. And look, Raikkonen didn't take Burti out. That is the way to do it, Jaguar. Very clean by the two drivers. There's Raikkonen in 8th place in the Sauber. He's got Frentzen for company in 9th place. Sauber is 8th and 10th at the moment. Weber currently in 10th place for the other Sauber. As we're about to start the penultimate lap with these lot. Up the hill they go. And around the second to last corner. I do apologise. Had a bit of a coughing spurt there as we start the penultimate lap between Raikkonen and Frentzen. This is the battle for 8th place. Frentzen takes quite a wide line to get as much speed as possible going down this straight. He takes a lunge. He's not close enough, but he's definitely he's not going to get a good exit, but or is he? He's 2/10 behind Raikkonen. Is he going to send one on the inside? Yes, he is. Raikkonen can't close the door, and Frentzen has overtaken Raikkonen. It's another clean overtake. De La Rosa, as Frentzen is now in 8th place. It's going to be 3 points for the Arrows currently. And Around that corner he goes. 8th place for the Arrows. Burti is now the person in front of Frentzen, but Frentzen has been slower than Burti all race. There is Raikkonen, 9th place. They're about to start the final lap of this circuit. But we're looking at everyone else. Button 11th, 12th is Coulthard. McLaren not scoring. Jordan not going to be scoring. There is Coulthard in the McLaren, going up towards the pit straight. There was Panis. He just saw his name. So it looks like Alonso is going to get come any second now, but we're still on board with Coulthard, and we missed Alonso winning the race. There he is. Alonso's won the race. We missed it because the camera director was too busy looking at Coulthard. Panis comes home in second place. It's a very impressive second place, with the fact that BAR are doing shockingly bad all season long. Michael Schumacher rounds off the podium. 3rd place in the Ferrari. 4th place Barrichello in the other Ferrari. 5th place Fisichella. Drops back a lot. De La Rosa, controversially, shall we say, in 6th place after having a hissy fit over Burti passing him. He finishes in 7th place. There's probably going to be stern words between De La Rosa and Burti in the race, especially from his team manager Raikkonen in 8th place and Frentzen in 9th. So Frentzen had problems, it looks like, and lost that 8th place. Here is Frentzen, and he has it looks like he had a gearbox failure, and he's been overtaken by Raikkonen on the final part, but he's going to trundle over the line. There he goes. It trundles over the line and just stops right there. To be honest, I don't blame him. He's finished in 9th place as Frentzen. He's managed to cross the finish line, and there's Mark Webber scoring the final points of the race. And there were your points finishers. We'll get the classified results as soon as Alonso goes back into the pit lane, which he does now. Tell you what, the camera work hasn't been the best this race. We missed quite a bit of action, and missed quite a lot of Alonso winning the race. But we have the classified results anyway. So Alonso wins for Toyota, 14.9 seconds ahead of Olivier Panis in the BAR. 3rd place, rounding off the podium, is Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari. We'll go into a bit more detail when we see the lap times eventually. 4th place Barrichello, 5th place Fisichella, 6th De La Rosa, Burti 7th, Raikkonen 8th, Frentzen in 9th, and Webber in 10th place. And you see all the rest of them. No one cares about the rest of them. And we are now down at the bottom half of the table, and eventually we shall see the lap times of everyone, and we'll go into a bit more detail of the rest of the drivers. Or are we just giving up on the lap times? We've probably given up on the lap times. Anyway, it was Button, Coulthard, didn't it? When he scrolled up. There we are, Alonso. 1st place for most of the race, got overtaken by his teammates. Panis, 3rd place for most of the race, Panis, and capitalised on Salo retiring. Schumacher 4th most of the race, again capitalised of the Toyota retiring. Barrichello been up and down really, but 4th place is fair. Fisichella started in, I don't know when he started. 7th place Pedro de Rosa. You could say it was a disappointing race for the Jaguars. 7th place Burti. We all saw what happened between Burti and De La Rosa. I've talked about it plenty of times. Kimi Raikkonen 8th place with the one stop. Frentzen lucky to even finish 9th for that gearbox failure, but alas, that is what happened. 10th place Mark Webber. He was quite far back, to be honest, and then managed to score a point. Button 11th place, so close, so near but so close for the Jordan driver. Coulthard finished in 12th place. Another pointless race for McLaren. 13th place was There's two Pedros. He was well away from his teammate Alesi. 14th. That was a poor race for Alliance Sato. Another poor race for the Minardi team. Young, also very slow in the other Minardi. Hakkinen is the last of the finishers. We don't need to say much about Hakkinen. He's Salo, gearbox failure, puts him into retirement. Ralf Schumacher also had a gearbox failure. He put him into retirement. And Trulli had an engine failure. Thank you for watching the Brazilian Grand Prix. I have been your host, and goodbye.